Right, hello everyone, this is Flatline, and I'm gonna be doing another PvZ video. Sorry about that. I don't know, I've just been running into nothing but Zergs on ladder today, or lately. But I will be facing against SlayerSMin. He's not one of their best Zergs on Slayers, but I mean, he's a pretty good Zerg. He went to Code A once, I think. He's more of a GSTL player for Slayers, I think. But it's gonna be mostly about how to deal with Mutas. Mutas. Mutalisk is probably one of the most irritating things to face as Protoss because, especially on this map is pretty wide, far from your main to your third. So when you establish your third and they get Mutas, it's like really hard to um, defend efficiently and effectively against Mutas. So I just want to go over a couple of things, general stuff that you should note as a Protoss player on what to do against Muta builds. Alright, so you're just going to do whatever you want. I am going to be doing my Fast 3 Nexus build, and also if you get a Fast 3 Nexus, it's definitely the hard counter to Muta builds, because you just get that economy so fast that you should be able to react perfectly on time and have a bunch of cannons or whatever, just a sufficient amount to deal with that. So I'm going to be doing my Fast 3 Nexus build. If you're wondering what that build order is, you can just check inside my YouTube in the archive where all the videos are at, and just see something about Flatline's Fast 3 Nexus build. You should definitely check it out if you want to figure out how to get a third Nexus really quickly against Zerg, because Zerg, I mean, they honestly can get 3 expansions before, and like 3 expansions really quickly if you do a Force Fast expand or Nexus first, and you really can't kill it. So I was like, well, what happens if I could try to even out the economy? So that's what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is gonna apply some pressure to it, and then behind that, I'm gonna be expanding. I also want to get your simulators while you're doing this, because you also need to get the. You can see how my money is getting really high, but I'm not gonna be really caring about my build whatsoever. I just want to care about once I establish this third and I spot the spire. What do I do now? You can see we're almost about the same amount of workers. My third is almost done. So we are almost the same amount of income. See, the workers are nearly the same. Income should start to spike up soon. I'm gonna get my gas really quickly. And we get a hallucination. You can always figure out which way you like to scout for. I like to get hallucination because it's a lot quicker. And you can also use it for multiple reasons. You can also have a hallucinated phoenix over an army, and unlike the observer, it should be fast enough to move where the army goes. Whereas the observer, it can lose its track because Zerg units tend to be really fast and mobile. So that's where I spot the spire. I spot the spire right here, okay, and the baling nest. Alright, I didn't see any evolution chambers. He's not really getting upgrades for this. That means that he's pretty dedicated to Mutas in the early game. My response, I'm just gonna go to my camera. Look at this, adding on some pylons. You want to add on extra pylons, that way they can't really target just one pylon and kill, pretty much unpower all your photon cannons. You also want to get this one. This natural is probably the strongest point, so you don't really need any cannons there. Add on cannons here, 1, 2, 3. Now everything's defended. Now, want to note, because I was able to scout the spire before it was done, I don't really need to warp in stalkers. Whenever you're building, you can see how I'm building like this, because I'm pretty sure this was done already, and I was actually right. But I didn't know when he was going to be attacking. These cannons are very weak. I mean, they're really open. There's nothing really protecting them except these two, but you could definitely pick out these two at least, and this pylon. So what you want to do is you want to warp in a couple of stalkers, maybe 5 or 6, just to shoot them off and buy time for your cannons to get out. That's all you need. Once this is fixed up, you can definitely move these stalkers wherever you want. Second thing you need to do is get observers. Right when you see this, you have the robotics, make observers. You should be able to spot this. You see I have another one right here, one right here, and then I will make another one, and it's going to be in the front, just to see if he's going to apply any heavy pressure in the front. I'm also getting double force, that's just my taste, but this is the main thing that you want to get. Now if you went Stargate opening and you saw this, obviously just that's actually the best way to deal with them, is just make a lot of phoenixes. 5 can take out a few, but if they start to mass up really quickly, you want to have about 10 to 12 and get that phoenix range for you, and then that's all you need. You don't need anything more or any than 10 or 12 to deal with Mutas, in my opinion. You can see, look at that, he shoot off. I was able to spot this, was able to warp in just in case. He's gonna try to come up here, but it's gonna be negated by some gateways. Just gonna cancel this because he's target firing them while I'm picking off a couple of Mutas. So he's losing Mutas for, like 35 minerals from me, so 37. I think it's looking pretty good for me. So now you need to figure out, when is he stopping? This is the hard part. I think this is probably the hardest part when you're dealing with Mutas. Your defense can be absolutely perfect, but then you don't know when to transition. When is he transitioning from this when you defended pretty well? So what you need to do, look at this, I'm sending Hallucinated Phoenix. I need to see if he has other expansions to take that out. And you need to see, is he transitioning? Is he still making Mutas? Or not? If he's still making Mutas, you will still be committed to Stalkers. But if you stop, you can always stop a little bit. See, I can see that right here. Got my Stalkers in place. Everything's looking gravy right now. So I'm just looking to see his expansions. Okay, he's got the 4th. I see a lot of links. I do not see any more Mutas. Okay, so now he is definitely transitioning. Gonna be adding on my robotics and my Robobay. Be getting my Colossus count a little bit higher. I'm gonna also be adding on the Stargate soon, because I want to get that mothership as well. It's time to get to that late game comp, so I can deal with this. Some Mutas can try to pick off here and there, be unsuccessful. You can see he hasn't really done that much damage to me. He actually never, I don't think I lost any probes. In fact, how do I check? Is it this? Look at that. Okay, he killed one worker, but I guess that's something. I don't know. Alright, so I want to expand because I have Storm, I have 4 High Templars here. I also want to have some High Templars back over here. This is pretty irrelevant, but I like to be super safe. That way you'll be able to deal with Mutas quite fine.
Upgrade complete.
You can see I'm already 3-1, about to be 3-2. Everything's looking pretty good for me. His upgrades have been late, like I showed you. He didn't really have any evolution chambers. It's only gonna be at 1-1. You see how that was the observer I was talking about. Here he comes, gonna be coming over here. Time to storm this. Yeah, I lose some of my probes, that's fine. Honestly, he definitely no longer looks like he doesn't want to do anything with Mutas anymore. Just gonna remake them, it's fine. I have Chronos to help me. Establishing my 4th now. Now here's the big thing. Here's a couple of things you want to do whenever you're playing this. Because you were playing pretty defensive, Zerg has 5 bases. He was able to get 5 bases. I wasn't able to harass him. Yeah, I probably could have used some more prisms to, keep him back at his base. That's another good way of dealing with it. But look where his overlord. Absolutely beautiful spots by and he has vision everywhere on the map. So Warp Prism might not even work against them. from my perspective. He just has too much vision on the map. That a warp prism flying by will hit one of these overlords, and he should be able to take it out pretty easily. Alright, so what to do is you want to have, since you're playing pretty defensive, he's going to have a stronger economy than you. Have your observers in key locations. You see how I moved this one that was up here? I want to move it to this side because this is a pathway Zerg has to take to get towards here. The other pathway is here. I will later cover this on with this one because this one now becomes pretty useless, right? There's no more mutas coming over here. I have a lot of cannons here. I can move this to here, and that way now I have covered both ways for Zerg to enter my base to attack. Because of that, I should be able to position my army in the best location possible. So I want to poke in here, see if I see anything. Now I see some infestors. Pretty unfortunate. High Templars are pretty slow. Don't lose my observer. Okay, so the observer is alive. Thank goodness. Alright, so I see the infestors. I see the mass spines. This is the typical thing you see from Zerg. But I did not know he was actually going for Baneling drops. So that's one thing I need to watch out for. And you know, I could scout a lot better. I should have sent more hallucinations around. I can even send hallucinated warp prisms. Maybe I should have done that against Muta Builds. That's actually pretty smart. I just thought about that right now. You could do that so that way they see like 6 warp prisms and they're freaking out because they don't know which one's real and which one's not. I could do something like that. See how I saw all this? I was positioning my High Templars in spots. I could be able to do any significant damage. And here I am. I moved this over here. Now I'm going to be able to spot that side. I'm going to be adding on my mothership and adding on extra stargates. Now I'm adding on the extra stargates because he didn't really do any damage to my economy. I have a pretty strong economy right now. So I could afford all these extra stargates so I could be able to produce, you know, void rays or carriers or whatever I need against his composition. Right now all I need is void rays. So you can see they're doing that 300 200 maxing where you could cancel spines, buildings, and make more units. Now I want to add some of these DTs. Like I said, money is nothing to me at this moment. So I'm just going to be moving these DTs around, see what I could, if there's any openings. Okay, so nothing right there. I'm going to try to get to these expansions. Nice job by SlayerSMin. Has the 1 spore, 4 spines. That's not going to get busted. Alright, so this place is a little bit weak. We can do some damage right here. I'm just gonna kill a couple of drones, nothing that's gonna really hurt him though. Now I don't know why he did not attack this, but he ended up attacking this. I don't know why, I had it linked up. Now this is pretty bad by him. I was only able to see the blue lords, I did not see all these overlords. So this really scared me. Now he's doing the Baneling drops. What I want to do is force field some of this. That way, some of the Banelings that move out, they won't be able to connect to these stalkers. The next thing I want to do is hallucinate some Archons, take in some of the damage. This is getting pretty significant. Morphing in some Archons just to lower the damage, but he did absolutely amazing damage right now. Actually, we're pretty much even. Alright, so he has no ground except the investors. That should be fine because he's fine. All I need to do is buy some time. I do have 4 High Templars to storm. It's gonna help me quite a bit. Kill some of those investors. Now, High Templars are really good against rulers because they're siege units. I'm just gonna fast times through this. Actually, no. Let's just go through the game because I basically just went over what you had to do against Mutas. But I guess I'll let y'all finish watching the SE game, just regular SE. See what goes on. He doesn't really have a huge army, so I'm just gonna go and blink under it. I'm willing to sacrifice all these stuffers for these investors. It's fine with me. As long as I kill them. So he doesn't have any more fungos. All he has is some ultras coming over here. be warping his zealots. And what he still has not budged me yet. I need to take this expansion a little bit quicker. I think my natural should be mining out soon, yeah. So it looks like I am going to be sending a zealot over here to attack. There was a Zergling here. And here comes another pressure. This is pretty scary. But I have enough for a vortex, so I'm going to use a vortex. All you need to do is deal with half of this army. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to deal with half of this army. And everything's looking pretty good right now. Don't really want to send these zealots in there because of the ultras. I should do splash. Now he's losing all of his ultras. And just like every other Zerg, you could tech switch completely fast against this. So he's gonna go back into Brewlords. Adding on some immortals because of the ultras. Look at this. I saw this, right, with this observer. See some Ling run bys. I should be able to warp in some units here. There we go. And I'm going to be able to kill this off. And now he's behind. I feel like this is probably the best way against Muta Builds, is that because they have Mutas, they should have that control. And so, unless you want to target with Phoenixes, so they should be able to get these 5 bases pretty untouched. I'm sacrificing these zealots because I don't need them at all. That way I can clear some room. You can see I'm getting +1 attack, adding on some warriors as well. Here we go. I'll be also bringing in my High Templars because now I don't really need to worry about Mutas. I can bring them with my army, and I should be fine from there. And on cannon, so I can secure this expansion. And his money is running really low. Remember, he spent all his resources. You can see how the units lost. He's basically starving now. He's not able to get this expansion. He's not able to get this expansion. So sooner or later, he's gonna have no money, and he's gonna do that one big push. And all he has to do is defend against it. Not saying that's the easiest thing in the world to do. But I think it's the best way to deal with this. You can see I see his Brewlords moving over here. Backing up. Also see this expansion. I'm probably gonna be warping in. Oh wait, I'm max now. I wanted to warp in a DT and kill this off. It's okay. I'll do that later, possibly. Now I have enough for another vortex. In one of my videos, I'm just gonna express it again. His Brewlord's pretty well spread out. His Infestor's pretty clumped. So I'm just gonna go for some Infestors. Now he cannot fungal any of my units. Gives me a free reign for my units to go after the Brewlords now. He loses everything. And that's basically it. So that's about what you want to do against Mutas, most ideal thing. Get Phoenixes if you can, if you went Stargate opening. If you didn't, wow, that's cool. It's like in the air. Okay, so anyways, if you went Stargate opening, continue to make Phoenixes. 5 to deal with, you know, a few of them. 10 to 12 if they start to still make a lot of Phoenixes, so they're still gonna. But if you didn't go Phoenixes and you need to scout, like I said, my best way of scouting is hallucinations, a lot faster than observer. But if you're able to get a very quick robo and get an observer in there, that's fine as well. Once you spot that, what you want to do is figure out how to get a fast third. You want to get a fast third to deal with this. Put up cannons, make observers, put your stalkers in position while your cannons are being built. Once your cannons are built, you don't really need the stalkers there. You can rely on warpins to help. The cannons are mainly there to buy time for your warpins to shoot them off. And once you shoot them off, have those stalkers there rebuild those cannons, and go back again and over and over and over again. And sooner or later, it's not going to be effective for Zerg whatsoever. You also want to continuously scout somehow, figure out is he still committed or not. And usually you can tell by the expansions and usually his rally points all in one spot. So you should definitely try to look over there and see if you see any Mutas. And if you see an infestation pit or any other tech building, just look for that. That's all you need. And then I think that's about it. Oh, get Storm, and I think that's it. You just need Storm, 4 high templates with your army, one at each base, and you should be fine. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you still haven't and you like my content, please subscribe to my channel on youtube.com/flatlinesc2. You can also leave comments, thumbs it up if you like it. I'll try to not make another PvZ soon. Try to get other matches, but this is all I'm getting on ladder, so I'm sorry about that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you later, guys.